All right, guys, this is a recap video. What collections did I pick up in January? All right, guys, we're going to get into this video. What this is all about is it's a little bit for me, a little bit for you. Every year I like to do a big recap, and every year I feel like I don't do a good job. So now what I'm going to do is a monthly recap on which collections were picked up in the previous month, how much were spent, the biggest keys in each one, what came with it and everything. Just a quick breakdown of stuff you've probably already seen, but if you haven't, this is a nice recap. What I'm going to do, if I remember, fingers crossed, is put the links down in the description for the collections for the previous month. And yes, I know it's February and we're going to talk January, but it takes a little bit of time to record these things and then get them out and all that. With that being said, you know what to do with the subscribe and the like and the comments and all that. I want to remind everybody, March 19th, I will be at KingCon 2. KingCon is back in New Jersey. I forgot the exact location. We're in a new location, just kind of 5 minutes down the road, but KingCon, March 19th, I will be there. My first convention of the year. I'm real excited, really excited. Last year was such a good time, such a great show, by the community, for the community, and it was awesome. So fingers crossed that it's going to go off without a hitch. I don't see why it would. The first one was great. But let's get into this video. Let's get into exactly which collection, and I already explained it. Let's go. First collection picked up in 2022 was a tiny one. And what was great about this one is, I try to express and tell everyone not every collection's a home run. And this was the best example possible. The guy came up to me with a long box and a short box. That's it. There was barely anything in it. It was 99% filler, junk, damaged red books, no bags, no board, just a mess. The only two books worth mentioning were The Last of Us #1. It was the variant, which wasn't even a high grade, wasn't even a 9.8. It was more like, I don't even remember if it was like a 9.2, 9.0, 9.2. There were some ticks in it. That was the one book, and the other book was a Batman 635. That was that first Red Hood. That was all that came out of this long box and short box. I know a lot of these collections that I pick up, you guys are like, wow, where'd you find that? That's amazing. But this is a lot of the stuff, and I try to record everything I come across. I try to record and talk about, so you realize like they're not all home runs. They're not all big, giant monster collections. I paid $100 for the long box and the short box. And in this video, we broke it down really well. And again, the links are going to be down below. I'm going to do my best to make sure they're down there. But we broke down really well how I came to that $100 offer. And that was a really cool video. And so for me personally, I love finding the big, giant monster collections. They're the most fun. But I feel like for the viewer, it's like a litmus test. Like you get a better understanding of just what's out there when these kind of collections show up. And it was the first one of 2022, so I shouldn't complain because there's a little bit of money to be made, and it was a good video, and it was a great breakdown. But, I do like the bigger one. So that was the first one of 2022, January. This second one, this one, I had to write this one down because there was a good amount of stuff here. This was 30 short boxes. I had to go down to Queens for this one. Mostly filler. Long runs, right? Long runs, Marvels, like 2000s through 2012s, 15 stuff in that run. Full runs, a lot of Daredevil. A lot of Deadpool, a lot of Avengers. Nice long runs, but no major off the top, crazy going to CGC keys. Not a whole massive bunch. The best couple books in there. This collection also came. Oh, let me get the books first. There was a Captain Marvel 14, which is the first Kamala Khan cameo. That was in there because he did have some nice Captain Marvel runs. But again, nothing crazy. And the best book, probably hands down the best book that came in this collection, was the Avengers 48. This was the first Black Knight. 47 is the first Dane Whitman. 48 is the first Black Knight. 48 is the better cover, in my opinion. 48 is the money book. That was it. Now, this collection, there's a bit of a story with this collection. So This collection also came with some statues and some sideshow prints, but we'll talk about the statues. One was a Dark Phoenix sideshow, and the other one was a Boba Fett. I'm probably going to sell these like deep discounts. I think the Boba Fett goes for like $900. I'll move it to, below that. The Dark Phoenix, I think, goes for like somewhere between $500 and $600. I'll move below that. I didn't really want the statues, but we just kind of kept throwing things in the pile to add up the offer. Now, the cool thing about this, before we get into the offer, what I paid, the cool thing about this collection is the seller is not leaving the hobby. He still has a significant amount of keys, because they weren't in here, like a significant amount of keys. And he has another 25 short boxes of better stuff, including graded books. And he said, maybe if I decide to sell, I'll reach out and, you get first dibs. So that was kind of cool. But again, 30 short boxes of filler, difficult to make money on the filler stuff, man. And the handful of keys that did come out of there were nothing earth shattering. I just told you literally the best 2 books. We talked about the statues and everything else that was down in Queens. What did I pay for this collection? If you remember, $2,300 for this one. That was the second one of the year. The last one of the year, now let's get into the last one, came at the very, very end of the month. I think it was like January 31st or the 30th, the very, very end of the month. Only 5 short boxes, but it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. This was picked up at like 7:30 in the morning. It was like 1 degree outside. It was freezing. And when I looked at this collection, I literally looked at 2 books. Before I talk to you about the 2 books, there were a handful of books in this collection that were going off to CGC. For instance, there was an Amazing Spider-Man 300. That's already at CGC. Actually, as of the recording now, it's already been sent out, but it hasn't been put into the system. Amazing Spider-Man 316. That's the Spidey Venom cover. Wolverine number 8, that Mr. Fix-It. New Mutants 98, that's the first Deadpool. X-Men 266, first Gambit, possibly the highest graded Gambit I've ever submitted to CGC. Watch, it'll come back like a 9.2. He had a Hulk 182, that's not off to CGC yet. It's actually back there. The reason is because it's that standard tier, the second tier. I think it used to be value tier. And I don't want to send just one book. So I have the Avengers 48 that still has to go. And then that one. So I'll probably save up until I have 5 or 6 books from that tier, and then off they go. And with that, the only 2 books that I saw before I made my offer, because it was 1 degree outside and I was freezing and I'm like, this is terrible, were 2 Hulk 181s. And right now, those are at CGC. No idea what those grades are. We're hoping for somewhere between a 6 and a 6.5 for the first one, and a 7 and a 7.5 for the second one. Anything above those grades, we're doing really well. Anything below those grades, we're kind of going to be teetering on doubling up, right? We always say we like to double up with our offer. What did I just want to make sure that was everything. Right. 5 short boxes. It was 1 degree outside. Those were the books sent off to CGC, which again, that costs another batch of money. I think that costs another $600 or $700 in CGC fees just for that stuff that we sent out. What did I pay? This collection was $8,000. So collection 1, collection 2, collection 3 for January of 2022 all together came to $10,400 purchased. That's what went out the door. No idea what's coming back, because with these collections, if you ever bought them, you break them down. So you're going to get $10 books, $20 books. You're going to bulk stuff out, right? And then you have the major keys. So it's hard to tell exactly how much is going to come back. Plus we have CGC fees included here. We also don't know some of the grades of the books. So we don't know what they're going to come back at. So we don't know the value of those. So that was January. Only 3 collections, which I shouldn't say only. If you can pick up 3 collections a month, that's pretty good in my opinion. Almost one every week and a half, 2 weeks. That's good for that. If I did 3 a month for the whole year, I'd be ecstatic. But that's January, $10,400. I'm going to try to do these kind of videos every month. If I only pick up 1 collection, do I need to do a recap? If you tell me, actually, if you guys like this, what we just kind of went through and did, let me know in the comments. Even if I pick up 1 collection for a month, do you want me to do a breakdown video and just kind of say, here's how the month went? But I do plan on doing more of those. Did I write down? Because we are into February. Yeah, see, I already wrote down February stuff because it is February right now. And I did already pick up a collection. You guys don't know about it yet, but that will be out shortly, hopefully. Takes a while to go through these things when there's a lot of books. That's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching this. It's actually a pretty cool recap. I'm going to do my best, too, to do a massive recap at the end of the year for all the collections picked up for the entire 12-month calendar year. So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Let me know in the comments again if you like these videos. We'll do them once a month. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And as always, keep it comics.